Hello again, and welcome back. You're about to start your lesson one. This is the video for lesson one in creating your first spreadsheet using the textbook and the materials that I went through in the introductory lesson. I'm going to walk you through what I'd like you to do. So you're watching this video. This video showed up in your classroom. You have already completed the first assignment, which was the lesson introduction. Hopefully you've done that. Okay. When you go to Google Classroom, there are two tabs here. One is the stream, which puts assignments in order based on when I posted them. The second one is classwork. I would prefer that you work with the classwork one because this is going to be organized sequentially. So the older material is going to be at the top. The newer material is going to come after. And this I can organize. So you're going to work through your lessons one by one, starting at the top and working your way down. What's missing from this particular classroom is the assignments with these videos in them, which will show up in your classroom. But for now, you're going to go to your Google Classroom. You're going to click on lesson one. Okay. You're going to go ahead and view that assignment. Oh, actually, instructions. Actually, it's going to look different for you. Right? And it's giving you instructions on what you need to do. So it says, watch the video first, which is what you're doing. Good for you. Okay. And then read pages 6 through 7. Okay. So what I did was I went ahead again and downloaded the textbook. Okay. I have the textbook open. All right. And I went ahead and took the textbook, and one of the things you can do to kind of help you, if you have Windows 10, this works. I don't know how this works if you have a Chromebook, but one of the things you can do is you can move the window around, and with Windows 10 is kind of cool, is if you just drag it to the edge, it'll put that textbook on the side. And you can choose what other window you want to have open. I have a lot of stuff open right now. Okay, so I'm going to choose this, and it puts both of these side by side. And now I can slide these around and resize the windows. Okay, that's actually the way that I would do this. You can do this however you want, but again, I think it's helpful to have the textbook open on one side and the lesson and the spreadsheet that you're going to be creating on the other side. Okay, you're at the lesson, you've opened up the textbook, you're reading the information. I'm not going to read it for you. Okay, and then you're basically going through these instructions. I'm going to go through these instructions with you. This is creating your first spreadsheet. So there's not a whole lot of crazy stuff going on here. It's pretty straightforward. Notice the new skills. You're going to create, name, and save a workbook. You're going to identify the rows, columns, and cell addresses. You're going to preview and print your worksheet, and you're going to close the worksheet. You're not going to be able to print your worksheet because we're not in a class right now. So rather than printing your worksheet, you're just going to submit your worksheet in Google Classroom. And you can see in Google Classroom that I've created the worksheet that I want you to fill out. I've created that for you. You just have to go ahead and fill it out, and there should be one for each of you. All right. So this is how this should look for you. You have your lesson open. You have the textbook open. You might want to stop and stop this video and get it set up so that it looks just like it looks on my screen or close to it. Okay. So now we're okay. We've got page 6. Okay, you've read page 6. Okay, and you're going to be creating this spreadsheet based on the instructions that are given here. Okay, so let's go through these instructions real quick. If you haven't done so, create a folder on your storage drive where you can save your spreadsheet lessons. These have already been saved for you, so you can skip step 1. Create a new spreadsheet. You don't have to do that either. In other lessons, I'm going to ask that you create your own spreadsheet. But for now, I've gone ahead and I've created a blank spreadsheet for you to use. It's just easier that way for you to turn in. Okay? Practice getting to know more about available options in the toolbars by clicking on various menus and drop downs to see what you can find. So I've opened up a copy of the spreadsheet that you're going to be using. I called it Generation Demo. Okay, the name of yours is going to be Generation. Mine is called Generation Demo. And it's just basically asking you to go through the lists of things and say, oh, this is some really interesting things that you can do here. So basically, this is where you're going to find a lot of the tools that you're going to be using to create your spreadsheets. That's what step 3 is all about. Step 4 says use the default font and size of the spreadsheet software being used. Google Sheets uses Arial as its default font. You're going to keep that default font. You're going to keep the size at 10. The formatting is all going to be basically the default formatting. Okay? We have already named it Generation, so we can go ahead and skip step 6. Step 5. Type in the data as shown in figure 1. Notice how the cell address changes with each entry. So I'm going to start that right now. So figure 1 is on this page. Okay. And it says Generation. What? Okay. So I'm going to start typing. Generation. What? Okay. All right. So this is cell A1. Each of these boxes is called a cell. You should have learned that in the last lesson. Okay. This is cell A1. This is cell A2. This is cell A3. This is cell B1, etc. These are called columns. The columns are letters. These are called rows. The rows are numbered. Okay, and where they intersect is a cell. I'm going to go ahead and kind of pause the video and so that I can type in all this information. You don't have to watch me do that. And then we'll come back to what we need to do in terms of formatting. I don't think there's any formatting that needs to be done, but I'm going to go ahead and pause the video so that I can fill this, create this spreadsheet. Okay, so I have created the spreadsheet. One of the things that spreadsheets are very useful for is just creating basic lists. This is a list of the different generations that have names. I guess there's a Generation Y and there's a Generation Z, but these are the ones that we were most familiar with until most recently. I happen to be in Generation X. Woohoo! Right? But I'm not of the greatest generation. Anyway, this is just a basic list. That's all it's really asking you to do. If we go back to the instructions, it says, carefully proofread your work for accuracy. So go through, I would recommend that you go through and look for any misspellings, look for any numbers that seem incomplete. Make sure that this information is correct. And before you turn it in, and then when you proofread it, a good thing that you might want to do before you finish proofreading it is take a look at the rubric in the lesson. So after you filled this out, go back to the rubric. Okay. Is it named and saved a saved spreadsheet? Well, guess what? I already did that for you, so you've got 30 points just off the bat for just opening it up. Did you input all of the data correctly into the assigned cell addresses? In other words, Is cell A3, does it have the word name? Is it capitalized? Is born and start capitalized? I'm looking for those things. I will be taking points off for things that are not capitalized. Okay? Set print area includes cells containing data. That one I'm going to give you 30 points for anyway. It really shouldn't be in this rubric. So I'm going to be giving you that 30 points. So basically you've got 60 points on your own. The 40 points is just coming from typing in this information. Okay? Once you're finished, you go back to your lesson and you're going to go ahead and submit your lesson to me. I will be grading it using the rubric. It is a 100-point scale, and you should get that basically during Monday. You should have all of these graded if you have completed them on time. Okay, so that's basically it for your first lesson. Good luck.